For my primary source analysis paper, the first steps that I believed that needed to be done was to brainstorm about the topic. What is it that I wanted to write about? And what is it that I wanted this to do for me? I know history is a big part of everybody's life, especially when it has an impact on you, if it has to do with discrimination, with people putting barriers on what is it that you wanted to do. One of the things that I wanted this research paper to do for me was for me to learn more about where I came from, things that have been happening here in the last 100, 200 years. I wanted to know more about what is it that people went through during these times. When Laura started talking during orientation about the research paper, I got a little excited because I wanted to learn more about my history. And when she said that it could be something local, to me that was great because I wanted to learn more about what has happened here in the Bay Area during the last centuries. So my main focus was kind of like the 1960s. I wanted to learn more about discrimination in our part as Latinos, what happened on this side. I know a lot of people focus on African American history because it was more of a controversy, but I also wanted to learn more about the Latina community. I talked to Laura about the subject and she gave me a couple of ideas which I thought were great. And this is the part where brainstorming was one of the major factors. She told me about Dolores Huerta. And when I actually heard the name, I was not familiar with it and I wanted to learn more about who she was and what is it that she did in order for Laura to know more about this character compared to Cesar Chavez. And what I did first is that I, like everything, and I think like everyone, I Google her name. Who was this woman and what is it that made her so special that even my history teacher knew about her? So from the Google, I got different responses to it, and what I did is that I clicked on Wikipedia because Wikipedia gives you a lot of information about any character or anything you're looking for. And I found out that she was a leader for the farmer workers during the 1950s and until now. She's a major factor of farm workers. Another thing that I did is that I went into the library resources. I went into their websites and I actually found out that by looking into the San Jose State Library, which I actually am talking about Martin Luther King Library, there is a lot of information about her, which is great, but at the same time, so does Evergreen. Evergreen Library also has a lot of information, and the only tricky part is what is it that you want to find. They have hundreds of articles about this lady. Dolores Huerta was an amazing, amazing person. What I found out through Wikipedia, Google, the Martin Luther King Library's website, and the articles they have, the ones that Evergreen has, is that she became aware of the farmers' conditions in the 1950s. I also learned that in 1960 she co-founded the National Farm Workers Association, and that she was a major factor of helping the farmer workers during these times, because if you remember, there was a time period where there was a big sign of no grapes, and that they wanted people not to purchase grapes so that they could support the farm workers, because they were going through a lot of discriminations and a lot of hard times. I came with those ideas by reading. When you do your research paper, make sure that you brainstorm at the beginning about the ideas that you want to have, write them down, kind of ponder on them, keep them in the back of your head for a couple of days, and then go back and hit the internet. Find out what Google has to say about it, how many topics does it have, where the information comes from. Take the time to read about it, glance at it, and write down like major factors that you want to learn about this research that you want to do. I know for my fact is that I know that her biography is big. She did a lot of amazing things, but one of the things that I want to focus more is on what struggles did she went through in the 1950s to help the conditions of the farmer workers, how she became the co-founder, and what struggles as a person, as a mother, because she had 11 kids, what things did she have to go through. So make sure that when you do your research, you take the time to do one thing at a time, but at the same time ponder on the ideas. What is it that you're going to get from all this? Become a historian. Good luck.